program, I'll show you how to draw in 3 dimensions using the special art word, symmetry. First, we'll draw a hot dog stand. I know you all love hot dogs, right? Well, later we'll move over to the Secret City mural and add a township opening to the space station. My special guest today is cartoonist Al Grosso. You know how much I love cartooning, so I'm really looking forward to Al telling us how to create cartoon characters. I know how much you want to join the Secret City Club, so I'll tell you how easy it is to become a member. Now here's what you need to follow along today. You need your drawing pad, your drawing pencil, and your guest book so you can take some notes on cartooning. Now you gather those materials together, and I'll be right back. So you're vivacious, right? You're energetic and you're cheerful and you're ready to conquer that flat piece of paper. Draw 3-dimensional drawings. Now, of course, we'll use all the 7 magic words plus that special art word I told you about, which is symmetry. Now, symmetry is when you draw an object or a picture and it's the same on both sides. It's almost like a mirror image. See, it adds harmony to your drawing. It makes nice shapeliness to your pictures, kind of like flowers in a flower vase. Symmetry helps the arrangement look really nice to your eye. That's what drawing's about, is making things pleasing to your eye. Now we'll start our hot dog stand. We'll use symmetry right off the bat by drawing 2 lines. We'll draw one line here, a vertical line, come over here and draw another vertical line. Let's see these lines line up with the side of your paper, right? Hope your pencils are sharp. Okay, right here in the middle line's a little bit lower. That wasn't too hard, was it? Getting easier to keep up with me, isn't it? Because your confidence is up, your enthusiasm's up, and you really are getting control over this piece of paper, so it's easier to follow along with me. Now, see, this is symmetry. This line and this line are the same lines. Slant up in direction 1 with your pencil. You can make the sound effects if you want to. It makes it a little more interesting. And then look at, take aim here. Ready? There we go. Now we have the beginning of our hot dog stand, all right? Now, from this point to this point, take aim. Now, we're not going to stop at this corner. We're going to make an overhang just a little bit. Take your pencil, line it up. Make sure this line's going to be the same. You ready? You can brace yourself for those swooshes. Ready? Come off over the hang just a bit here, see? Over the corner. And then the middle line, come straight up here. Straight line, a nice dark straight line. And stop right there and put a dot at the top. Now, this will be a real interesting hot dog stand because we're using symmetry. It'll be a mirror image on both sides. See how it looks like a mirror image right now? And then we'll draw some shingles down the side, some direction 7 lines. Okay, that always makes me chuckle when I start making all the sound effects. And then light guidelines going off in this direction too. Warm up with these lines. See, make sure you're confident. Make sure your pencil's going in the right direction. Line them up all the way along here. Okay, and then ready to attack this piece of paper and draw those shingles. Okay, loosen up. 1 shingle, and then we'll draw a couple shingles here and a couple more shingles. A couple more shingles. Very loose and sketchy. See this? Now, using symmetry, we'll draw the same type of shingles over here on the other side. Symmetrical drawing, nice balance, a nice shapeliness, nice arrangement for your drawing. Draw the shingles hanging here. Isn't that a nice pattern for shingles? Okay, now we'll put a little hot dog sign up here in this area. Direction 1, nice dark direction 1 line. A direction 1 line. Then a vertical line here. A vertical line. See how it overhangs on this side and this side? Now this is where I break the symmetry just a bit, and I'll make a window over here and a doorway over here so that the hot dog proprietor, the owner of the hot dog stand, can sit inside here. Okay. And later on I'll clean this out and we'll write hot dog in there. Now, direction, a guideline. So you follow this guideline right here and this guideline and draw a light guideline for the bottom of the window. I'm going to darken in and clean up the edges a little bit of my drawing. Make the overhang nice and dark. That midline's important. All right, now we'll draw a nice domed window. A vertical line here, a vertical line. Match the dome. And then I want to make a little hot dog lid coming out so you can put the ketchup and the mustard and the relish so the people who come up, or the Furbies or whatever characters or creatures or people that come up to buy hot dogs, have little garnishes to put on. Okay, see? Direction 7, direction 7, and then direction 1. I'm going to finish this ledge. And there's our hot dog ledge. You know, our special guest today is cartoonist Al Grosso, and he said that he's going to be developing some kind of character to come up and buy a hot dog. I want to see what he's drawing right now. How you doing, Al?
Hi, Commander.
What kind of drawing do you have?
Well, got a little guy here who's ready to buy one of your hot dogs.
That looks delicious. That's the most jumbo hot dog I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's big.
Spreading some mustard around there, huh?
Uh-huh. He's
You know
hungry, too.
I was just thinking about how interesting it is how, see, you control that shape and using all the 7 magic words of drawing. Even with cartooning, you use that.
Oh,
those
sure.
magic words.
Sure, they're all in there.
So you have shading, you have contour on the hair.
You have overlap, the bun overlapping the dog, the mustard overlapping the dog, the fingers overlapping.
That's great. Now you have some more drawing you're going to show us later on, right?
Yeah, we're going to develop some cartoon character heads from a basic shape all the way through to the finished head.
All right, sounds good. I'll be watching. I'm going to go back to my lesson right now.
Okay.
It's going to be fun. You might have your pad ready so you can take some notes on how to develop your cartoon characters. Now I'm going to draw the window right here. And then I'll draw the thickness from the top, moving down, from the very top all the way down. And we can draw a character in there later on. Or even, I'll leave this blank, and so the notes that you take from your visit with Al Grosso, you can take some notes, and then later on you can add a little character inside there. That'd be fun. We'll draw a doorway, a vertical line, and a vertical line. You have to have some way to get into here, right? Dome the top of the door. Thickness comes down. And then, oh, we forgot to draw that hot dog up here. It says hot dog. Take my little eraser, my eradicator, my Commander Mark eradicator, and I'll write hot dog across here. See how it lines up with the sign? See how these line up? Hot dogs for sale. These are a nickel a piece. Good deal, huh? Draw a wall back here. Direction what? What direction is that? Direction 1. Vertical line. Direction 1. Direction 7. Very quick wall. Now see, if I'm going too fast, you can just sketch it in lightly and fill in the detail later. Direction 7. Direction 7. A vertical line using symmetry. See? Same wall on both sides using symmetry. It balances your drawing. It adds a little bit of flavor for your eye. It also keeps your eye into the picture. It helps your eye focus on the center. And then I'll even use symmetry a bit more, and I'll draw a tree up here. Draw a tree branch curving this way. Using symmetry, we'll draw a tree curving the other way. Using symmetry, symmetrical drawing, nice and balanced. And then I'll loosely sketch in my cartoonish tree branches. Now there's a really fun texture you can add up here. You can add little flowers and pack in the flowers a lot. See, if you fill this whole area up with these little flowers, you'd have a nice design for those leaves. Shade the left side here. Nice, see, really dark under the overhang. It sets the building underneath the roof. It really sets that underneath there. And I'll let you figure out how to shade this, and finish the detail on the trees. Draw about 30 minutes a day. Stay in a positive attitude, and the magic important artwork to keep in your mind, what is it? Symmetry. I know you love to draw, so you know what I've done? I've developed a special club, a drawing club, Secret City Drawing Club, and I want you to become a member. Well, the way you become a member is you send me in a drawing. Each week I have a different drawing I want you to complete. This week's drawing is for you to create your own vehicle for the planet, your moonscape or your planet for your secret city. Take a look at this drawing. This was done by Betsy. This is her vehicle for her planet, zooming around the atmosphere of the planet. Now, when you finish your drawing, when you finish your special activity, send it into the Secret City Club, Post Office Box 444, Moraga, California, 94556.
Hi. I'm going to draw some cartoon characters for you today, just the head. Most people think of cartoons as being just silly faces. Well, that's true, but I think they're more enjoyable for the viewer, the person that looks at the cartoon, if that cartoon or that drawing tells you what type of person might be in the drawing. For example, I brought some finished cartoon heads here. I don't think you have to stop and think very much about what this character is supposed to be. It's a little girl. Everything in the drawing says little girl. She has ponytails, bows in the hair. She's even missing a tooth, little polka dot dress. I got some others here. I don't think you have to stop and think too long about what type of person this is. It's obviously an old, sophisticated gentleman. I think you can tell that by the mustache, the pipe, the type of collar around the necktie. He's wearing a bowler or derby hat, and the monocle. That's one of my favorite parts in conveying the message about what this particular character is. And we've got a fashion model type back here. Big floppy hat, pearl earrings, pearl necklace, eye makeup, big happy smile, probably makes a lot of money in the modeling business. Here's one of my favorites. Pirate. Everything in the drawing says pirate. He's got the skull and crossbones, the bandana, the patch over the eye, the knife in his teeth. I've always wanted to do that. I've always wanted to be a swashbuckler and climb up a mast and swing from a rope with a sword. So that's maybe why he's one of my favorites. Now, these are finished characters. They're in full color. Everything's in there. They're polished up. I think something that you might want to keep in mind is that these characters didn't start this way. They were built up, sort of layer by layer, from a basic shape, much in the same way that Commander Mark draws. I've got a sheet here. Got a sheet here that I prepared that sort of shows you that transition from the basic shape with a few foundation marks right through to a finished character. There was a reason why I chose a particular shape for this character, the round face, because he turns out to be a sort of friendly, kindly old man, nice full pudgy cheeks. This shape's a little more elongated. It's going to turn out to be obviously a sort of fashionable, attractive young lady, and I chose a longer, sleeker format to start with. Here we've got this gangster type, sort of mean, and I started with a block, a real blockhead. And I think you can tell by just these few marks what the expression is going to be in the character when the drawing is finally finished. Each step moves on to the next. So if I could, I think I'll draw some characters for you.
Hello, Al Grosso, how are you?
Oh, hello, Zeptron. How you doing?
I am fine. I enjoy watching you build your characters.
Oh, thank you. Well, that's a good word, build, because they really are built up from one layer to the next. Would you like to see me draw one?
I would enjoy that muchly.
Okay. Well, the first thing I usually do is begin with a basic shape. I think I'll start with a circle. And of course, I said in the beginning that it's good to have a particular character in mind. I think I'm going to deal with a young kid, a young boy. Right? Hey, I might make a mark for the nose. Children are usually happy, so we'll give them a smile. And we'll raise the eyebrows. And that's a start. Now I think I'll build up another layer on top of that and start to go to something darker, like the marker. This is where I really relax and just have some fun with the drawing. The marker sort of becomes on automatic pilot. I might put in some ears on either side. Now this is important because we've got a circle here, and most beginners like to stay within the circle without going outside. But since cartoons are related to real life, and since real people have cheeks and chins and necks, I think you have to come outside of that circle. I think I'll cast a little shadow under here. I like thin necks.
He has funny ears.
Yeah, they're funny. Ears are one of my favorite parts of the anatomy because they are sort of outer space-like. You ever study the inside of an ear? It's very organic. Good artwork.
I study your ears as you draw.
Oh, good. You do that, and... Okay, I've got his mouth open. We'll give him a little tongue inside, and a little gap in his teeth. Maybe he chipped it playing baseball or whatever. A little nose down here. The
Why a little
eyes.
nose?
Well, children have little noses. Not a big nose like me most of the time. And we'll leave a little highlight in the eye. I usually leave highlights just to give it a little sparkle. Maybe some eyelashes. Let's give them a big, bushy kid's hairdo.
He is a cute kid. I like him.
Mm-hmm. And maybe some freckles. I like little necks, too, because they let you slide that neck inside of something like a turtleneck collar. We could establish a little shoulder line. And that's it. What do you think?
He is a very nice character. He makes me feel happy.
I'm glad, Zebtron. He makes me feel happy, too.
I like
Keeping
his
his eyebrows.
nose and his hair, his funny tooth. You do good work. I
Oh.
like his face. I like your face, too.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Zebtron. Looks sort of like Howdy Doody, doesn't it?
I have some more drawings to show you. Some kids who really have stupendous control over their flat surface. See, they learn the magic words and all these special art words, and they have some extravagant drawings to show you. Let's take a look at the first one. Here's the planet inhabitant. Reed drew this one. It's not a unicorn, but it's a duocorn. You like that? It's a human face with two really interesting horns coming out of the forehead. I just thought the design was very, very interesting. A very, very sincere face with shading. Let's look at the next drawing. This is by Betsy. Look at this. It's a floating island, and it's almost like a little floating township inside there with the little inhabitant of the planet swimming up to eat some of the roots of the floating roots. See that? Isn't that interesting? Nice shading, overlapping, surface size. Almost every single magic word is used in that drawing. Are you practicing your drawing every day? Good. See, the more you practice, the better your drawing will get. Now, on the Secret City mural, I'm going to use symmetry. I'm going to add some nice balance to my spaceport. I'm going to add a symmetrical spaceport entrance for the townships. See, the townships are down here, and the townships are floating out right now, but they're coming in, and they'll land inside of the space station. So I'll sketch in really loosely. Oh, I won't start there. I'll start about right here, and I'll draw symmetrically. See, I'm leaving the same distance from the corner, so it's symmetrical, it's balanced. And I'll mark in horizontal across here, direction 7 line. Very loose. Make it almost the same size, or as close as I can get. From the corner, or a little in front of the corner, I'll draw the scoop. See, this is where the ships will come out of the drawing, okay? Vertical line right here. And I'm just roughly sketching this in so you can see how I get these ideas down. Just like Al Grosso, I build these drawings, I construct the drawings from simple basic lines and basic shapes using all the magic words and this art word today, which is symmetry. See, it's the same on this side as this side. Now I'll take my fine point pen, but I'm not quite ready for that. I want to do something different on the sides here. What should I do? How about drawing an extra scoop coming out of the inside? This should be interesting. I'll draw it from right here, and it'll be an extra scoop shooting out of the bottom. That's kind of interesting. You see, as you go along, you can make up little inventions. And then I'll pencil this in even darker so you can see it. Now it's time for the fun part. You take your pen and boldly bulldoze over your piece of paper. You draw this in. Direction, what? Direction 7. Come down. This is this other scoop. A vertical line, direction 1, matching that direction for that with that direction 1. All right. Matches the inside of the window. The scoop here. The scoop comes out of the inside, direction 7. It comes down. You see how you have a scoop and then you have another scoop inside that scoop. And now symmetrical, well, we have that scoop, and so we're going to do the same scoop over here. A vertical line, direction 1, vertical, vertical, and then draw the scoop inside the scoop. Boy, this is symmetry in use. Okay. And then we'll draw that scoop there. Okay, I like that because the townships now have a nice, safe place to scoop inside and land and dock inside the spaceport. Now that I've drawn it, I'll go ahead and continue the cross-hatching down all the way across. Now remember Al's cartoon, he drew the face and he drew the neck really dark to make the neck sit behind the face. The face came towards you because the neck was drawn darker. Well, that same principle, that same idea is used right here underneath the spaceport. Now watch this. I'll make right up in this area really dark. It's a recess shadow. It'll recess this shape underneath the spaceport, just like on the neck or behind an ear or the fingers holding the hot dog, nice and dark underneath the fingers, and it makes the hot dog really sit on top of those fingers. These dark shadows are real important. See, a lot of people have a tendency to be afraid to add that darkness to their drawings, but you saw how Al just was real bold with his pen and went right across that cartoon. No problem. See, the darkness helps. Don't be afraid to add that black shadow underneath objects to make them recede underneath another object. Now, there's a special magic word I want you to remember today, and I'll let Elmo explain it to you. Did you remember? Did you remember? What was it? Size, that's right. Super important magic word, and you use that every single day. Every time you practice your drawing, I guarantee you, if you're drawing in 3D, you'll use size. Hopefully you use shading too, because this is my funnest part. My favorite part is when I add this shading. If you notice that the more you draw, the more confident you get and the more enthusiastic you get. Well, see, if you get more enthusiastic about your drawing, every time you take out your pencil and you start drawing, the more you'll enjoy it, right? You know how I love enthusiasm. You couldn't notice, could you? Yeah, I like being enthusiastic because drawing gets me in a real good mood. And the better you get, the more you'll enjoy your drawing, the more enthusiastic you'll get about it. Now this right here, it's a nice detailed texture, an artword texture. See, we use a lot of the elements of drawing and the artwords combined together to create a really nice illusion for your eye, a nice picture for your eye to look at. Now this is a little bit lighter shading, so I'll just use, not cross-hatching, but I'll use just one row of lines coming down because a little bit of sunlight just hit the top of this, but it's on the left side still, so I'll use a little bit of shading on the side down here. Create a nice cement drawing. And again, getting bold with my pencil. Okay, nice and dark underneath there to make that scoop sit underneath there. Every once in a while, when you're looking at some artist's work, you'll see something that really fascinates you, that captures your imagination. Now, that's exactly what happened to me when I saw this Max Beckmann painting. Visit your local art museum and take time to look through the art magazines and the art books. You'll get tons of great ideas for your own drawings. Now, some of the great ideas I've gotten, I've shared with you in my Secret City mural, and the symmetrical spaceport entrances on my spaceport are a good idea that you might want to try on some of your drawings. I'm going to add a little bit more shading underneath here, just to set that spaceport entrance underneath here just a bit. A little darkness underneath here. I like to get it really dark. I grit my teeth. Okay? You can laugh if you want to when you shade. It makes it a little more interesting for you, huh? See, when you draw, you get more confident, get more enthusiastic. You practice your drawing, you'll get better and better, and drawing will be much more fun for you. I want to add another township right over here. start by adding the buildings inside the township. Small little buildings. This one's going to be a skyscraper. This is a city ship. See, it has all the buildings in it, and I'll shade the left side of each one of these buildings. And we'll draw a dome over the top of the whole city. Put it inside of a bubble. And we'll draw a foreshortened circle around here. And then a platform. And then a very, very thin platform. Then add some shading to the left side. And you can do these townships or city ships anywhere inside of your secret city. Draw, draw, draw. Practice your drawing about 30 minutes a day. Stay in a super positive attitude, and I'll see you next time.